Hello everyone. My so before beginning with the session introduction to development, I just wanted to give you guys some disclaimer. And even before that, can you guys just help me by confirming that I'm perfectly audible or not? And we can like check the same with Sayam. Sayam, can you speak anything?
Am I audible also? You can just,
Like write in the chat and just confirm like whether we guys are audible or not. Can you guys do that?
yes, sir. Priel confirmed it.
Okay, awesome. We both are audible. Then to the disclaimers. So the disclaimer that I first wanted to put on is like all the info that we have like we are going to present today and which will be there in this like presentation of some sort will not be 100% accurate in the terms like it won't be to the proper definitions of that sort because we have oversimplified it so that new people like you which have come here today will just actually like, get better or understand this particular thing better. So that's the only our aim for oversimplifying things. Other than that, the other disclaimer I wanted to put on is like there are multiple screens that are here with me. So if you just see the side of my face, do not think that I'm rude. It's just that do not think I'm rude. It's just that it's the limitation. I wanted to stream to be as perfect as possible, so I will have to like move left or right. Okay then. So we'll just start the session right here. I think like many people are in the stream right now. So for this particular session, there will be two hosts like me and Sayam. I'm a developer and a Pixel supporter as like written here. So I just like opened my first computer when I was 10 years old and have been just trying to see okay how does this particular application work, how does this particular technology work, and like bit by bit I tried to learn more and more, and I am where just because of the curiosity and like the struggle I've been through. So my dev experience is like I've participated in many hackathons as well as I've been part of many internships, and I just completed my English fellowship. Let's move on to the next person. Let's Sayam, and he will introduce himself.
Hey everyone, I'm Sanyam Mittal. I'm this with Python as Ridham has already written. I think, in my opinion only, Python is best suitable language for me because I have tried all other languages also and it's me. So previously, I have been working as a DigiLocker intern as a web developer, uh, where I learned many things. And yes, that's all from my side.
So yeah, if the college is ever open and you say Sayam, on the streets of YMCA, just talk to him, and I'm sure that you'll learn a lot. So, just to give you a glimpse of that thing, we'll start the session. So, just to give you guys an
Yes.
overview that what we're gonna go through today and what we're gonna learn or like talk about. So, these are some bullet points. So, first we'll just discuss why should we actually delve into development, right? Why is it important? Then we'll get okay. I understand why development is important. Then we'll just see, okay, how do I actually start with it? What are the different stages in a development cycle? Like I have a project in mind. I want to make this. So how do I actually go upon making this? Like what are the different things? So like written and designing, front end, back end, APIs, testing, security. Like there are a lot of things, and if you even if you don't understand these terms right now, it's not a problem because there will be a lot of new terms that will be introduced to you in this particular session. So just hang tight and let's just see how it goes. The other thing that we're going to talk about is GitHub and what is open source. So I'll talk more about GitHub when we actually go to that particular slide. And it's just like when we share code with each other, we can actually build more things. Like, we don't have to make everything from scratch, and GitHub and open source helps us with that. Then we'll talk about hackathons, like the competitions where we actually learn more than you can actually learn in one complete semester. And then we'll just talk about some resources that can help you to gather more information about a particular but a particular language or a particular tech stack if you want to. Okay, and at the end of the session, we'll actually talk about the audition process of Manan, and we'll also take like Q&As, right? So we'll just begin with the session now. To start off the things, let's just talk about why actually development is important, right? We all know, like in the cycle of an engineer's life, the main important focus is we have to create things. That what an engineer is, right? If we don't create things, our identity is lost. So that's what development helps us with. Like we see a real life problem that exists in our real life. Like just a problem that is in front of me is my laptop just comes with a really sucky camera, like a webcam. I don't know why, and this did hurt me a lot in this particular lockdown session. So, but I did have some of my old mobile phones lying around, so I could use the camera that is in my mobile phone as a webcam from my laptop, right? So, just because this is also a hack, right? I'm using a webcam. I'm using my mobile phone as a webcam, and some applications have gone into this for making this webcam system possible, right? So all of this comes down into development. This just tells you like if there is a real life problem, we can actually solve it. Other thing is it can add a certificate alternative. So you can actually actually see right now, or if you have talked to any of your seniors, or you have actually seen their resumes, they always mention, okay, I have like completed this course in Python, I've completed this course in Android or something else. But what I personally think is, if you just go behind those certificates, they're kind of meaningless. Okay, so what
Yeah, I
actually?
would like to interrupt you here. I would like to say,
Yeah,
many
sure.
juniors ask me, they say, sir, ये कौन सा कोर्स लूँ सर, ये वाला कोर्स लूँ, ये लूँ. तो जस्ट आई रिप्लाई टू ऑलवेज रिप्लाई टू देम लाइक, ये कोर्स तुम्हें यहाँ फ्री में मिल जाएगा. मतलब अगर तुम कोई ऑनलाइन कोर्स अगर फ्री में नहीं ढूंढ सकते ना ऑनलाइन, तो तुम फायदा नहीं है तुम्हारा उस वो कोर्स करने का. Because I think you should explore the internet before asking for some course or like this. हाँ, बट ये होता है कि कई बार सर मैं कहता हूँ कि फ्री में यहाँ से मिल जाएगा, और काफ़ी कहते हैं सर इसमें सर्टिफिकेट नहीं मिलेगा. तो सर्टिफिकेट के लिए तो तुम कोर्स करोगे, पर लेकिन क्या फ़ायदा है.
Right.
नाउ यू कैन कंटिन्यू रिदम.
Thank you very much, Sayam. So exactly as Sayam said, if you just run behind the courses, you won't actually get anything. Rather, if you just make a project on that particular like framework or language or software development kit, like just taking Flutter for example, or like Android for example, if I actually make a project in Android, it will like I will just learn much more than what a particular certification would offer, and I can just use that particular project to showcase. Okay, I know this language. Like I can write in my CV, I have a made project in Android, so people can just tell, okay, this person knows a bit about Android because he has made a project in Android. So I don't actually need a certificate to prove that. Also, it also tells us about our unique thinking. Like if I have made a project in Android, just take an example. If I made a project in Android, it will uh, it will solve a particular problem, and how I'm solving that problem, how I identified those problems, how did I actually implement it. It my particular development cycle will just tell me, okay, this is how that person thinks, and the interviewer in future can actually judge you or judge your code and see, okay, this person codes like this person is good in particular things, and that's why your particular project, if when you work with development, it just signifies your unique thinking. And
And project is not something like you are just making the same thing the course is make is the course is about on. Like if you are going through a course of Twitter clone and you are making a Twitter clone, that doesn't make any sense. I've seen many of my juniors posting on LinkedIn or just posting a story that they just made
a
a
LinkedIn clone.
project. Yeah, they just made a project of JavaScript or something else or front end, and I already know that these courses were the part of that project.
Right, exactly. When you actually make projects that are with a particular course, you have to also think that like thousands of many people have also done that same course, and they also are making the same projects. So at the end of the day, the interviewers won't ever be able to identify, okay, this is this particular person's strong point, because you are just actually implementing the code that someone else has already implemented, and thousands of other people have already done the same thing.
Yeah,
So
so the
where are you in that thing? Nowhere.
recruiter knows the tutor name also.
Yeah, of course. It's like the recruiter also knows those particular projects already exist, and you have just copy pasted someone else's code. So it does not
Yeah,
signify you, and that's what development should do. And
yeah,
the
that's what unique thinking starts.
exactly. And like the most important thing is documentation. Like whenever you work with a new technology, you try to see, okay, the person who actually made that, uh, how did he think about that, what rules did he like put on about it. And when you are making a new like library or something, you are making a new tool, you also put down, okay, this should be used in this way. So you have to always make a habit of documentation. So you try to read, okay, uh, your habit of reading what others people have wrote down, and your own habit of writing, they also grow individually when you actually make projects. It does not come in a day. So even if you're great at English, it's not like on the first day you will actually click, okay, that's how you should read documentations. It takes time, and that habit of documentation, it just comes by practice. So you should do a little bit of dev every time. So let's just go to the next screen. What are the different steps of a development cycle? So like this is the whole crux of the session that we are going to take today, as this will cover almost every point that is there to talk about. Okay,
These
so
are the points every company follows.
like even if there's a like every project, you can find like anyway you can find that every project shares some points from this particular cycle. Okay, of course
Yes,
there are some things that are added upon to it. We have not included everything because it would just go over the heads of everyone,
yes.
so we had to like make an average so newcomers can also see that everything's good enough. So yeah, let's just move forward. Right, so like the stage one is designing, right? And what are you designing? That's the thing. Whenever you make an application, that has to be consumed by an end user. Like I'm making an Android application which has to be used by some other person. Like I will share that particular code or an APK which is on Play Store or something. You install that particular thing, and a person is just using your application. It has to have a user interface, right? Every application, like you're using a website, it has to have a user interface. Like Google Meet I'm using right now, it has a screen, right? It has a video playback on the front, it has some buttons, it has some setting menu. These are all parts of user interface, and designing those user interfaces is the first step you take when you actually start about making an application. And even before you actually start designing it, when you actually have an idea of a particular problem, like you see a problem, like I just told you about a problem, like I don't have a good webcam, and I have to use some particular software to actually get that phone's camera to work as a webcam of my laptop. So do I actually need a user interface for the user? As it comes down, that I do need it, so I will have to design it. So first I think, do I need a user interface? And if I do, then I design it. people sometimes think that designing is not that important and they just go towards actually making the application. But when you actually go about designing your application, like you see, okay, my application should have this many screens. First, it should have a registration screen, then it should also have a login screen, then it should have a home screen, then there are different tiles in that screen. Then once you tap on one particular tile, it should open something else. So you have to design all the screens, and then you actually see, okay, this should be the flow of the user. Like if the person is already logged in, he should just directly jump to the home screen, else they should first go to the registration or the login screen. Like you have to get that particular workflow done here in the designing part. So you structure your application, you design the UI of it, and you also take care of the user experience at UX. And at the end of it, you have to keep the balance between, like, you don't want to give hundreds of features to the user and like have everything clustered so that the person just becomes confused. Okay, what do I have to do? Rather, what you want to do is keep the UI clean, like have good buttons, have spacing properly, like parts of white space. You can actually go to many YouTube channels that actually just tell about how to design properly, like both for websites or for like normal applications, that mobile applications, or it does not actually need to be something that you actually access behind the screen. It can be something that you actually hold in your hand, like a particular smartwatch that I have in my hand. There are particular softwares, there's something that just run with it, like a button which is on it. So we have to design something on it. So how does that button work? So designing this is also fronted, as it does have a user experience, user interface of its own. So it does not just matter that you're working about with the software, you can also work with hardwares as well, and they all need particular designing if they have a user interface. So let's just go on to the next thing. So the next part is frontend. As I talked about earlier, once you have a user interface in mind, and you have actually you have actually in mind the you have actually in mind, okay, I'm gonna do this in this way. You have designed the whole thing. You have the whole user flow down to digits. Okay, you have everything topped up. Then you decide, okay, how I'm gonna actually make this. So should I make the application mobile first? So is the end user gonna use the application on mobile? Is the end user gonna use the application on their like laptops using web? Or is it just gonna work up on something else, or an external hardware? Like it can be the Raspberry Pi or something. It can be anything. So once you make the decisions, and even making the decision is a hard one because every one of them has their own pros and their own cons. Like if you make a mobile application, what happens is the ease of use for the final customer is awesome because you can actually have that application in their particular like app galleries or a play store, whatever, and then user can just install it and it always remains in their phone. You can have control over their notifications, their particular sensors. You can gather information with the consent of the user, and then you just enrich the user experience one by one. You just have complete control over it. So that's what mobile first does. But web first has its own particular advantages as well. Because when you make an application on web, it is not constrained by which platform you are running on. Like it does not matter whether you run it on Windows, you run it on Android, you run it on Mac. It does not make a difference. So having an application make on web first concept has its advantages. And there are several tools that can help you to make mobile first applications as well and web first applications as well. So just talking about mobile first, so the tried and tested method that has been prevalent over the like past decade or so is making this particular Android applications using Android Studio, and then you use the Java, and then you use the languages that is Java or Kotlin. Like Java was the old language that's still there, but I don't think that it will have support for that long of a time. So if you haven't like learned about like this development or mobile development anyway before, you should just go for Kotlin as it will be there for a long amount of time and Google has its support for it, right? So for web, if you're just making the front end, there are different like frameworks that have been there by Facebook or Google, like AngularJS is by Google and Facebook supports React.js. And there are other frameworks as well like Vue.js. So you can use those frameworks and make beautiful website, or you can just work with native HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Again, we will just discuss about the resources of every one of them later at the end of it. But still, let's just move forward. Like once you have your user, so front end constitutes the interactable elements the user actually interacts with. like the user interface, like the buttons are there, like their particular text form fields, anything. So those all things constitute in the front end, and like making that front end and like coding the front end. Once it's actually done, then you can actually move forward with other things. So we just get to the third stage of it, and just back end. So I'll just ask Sayam to like further continue with it.
So third stage, as it's showing backend. So backend is something like a more logical part of the system. So as we move forward with backend, backend is actually something which is necessary with anything like Android frontend with uh, website front end or hardware front end. It's basically how the logics are built, how data is stored, and how we will connect with front end and other applications on the same time. Secondly, it can also handle validations, authentications, some of the security features also. So backend is very necessary in a software, and generally people do ignore this part because it's quite not it's not quite simple, and it's very it's not famous. One second, if one
Yeah,
second.
guys, just give a second, and we'll work on one lag issue.
I think it's okay now. So what are servers? Servers are like a remote computer acting as a server, which can be which is like we are taking using it as a middle. We can we can it we just use it also, but it's not running 24/7 hours. So we take services from companies like AWS and many deploying companies. They have a dedicated server which is running 24/7. So it's a remote desktop or a remote CPU can just host our websites or backend or Android applications so that it can be available to all the internet users who request for it. Like if we talk about Google, Google has its own servers, and Facebook has its own servers. Big companies can have their own servers, but small companies or startups, they have to just these companies their servers, so that they have to pay for obviously they have to pay for these servers. It's like our application is made by us. We are deploying it on another server like Amazon AWS, uh, Amazon AWS, Microsoft Azure, DigitalOcean, Heroku. Many servers would be available. They are just so it is the best part. Our server should we should decide how should our server be located, where should it be located, and what kind of server we need. It's more of a with a higher RAM or higher storage capacity. So it's part of the backend only. The second, then if we talk about APIs, think it's like endpoints. If we need to contact with front end, we just need to have a some common layer between us. Like if it was a meme like in a wedding ceremony, waiters act as a API. They serve food uh, from the Alvai system, and they serve food to the caterer in the plates and all. So waiters act as a API. So you can understand like it only they will request for the data in the backend or with the server, which framework we are going through, and they will show us a response, which is a HTTP response. It can be a JSON, it can be XML. So the best part of this is like we can decide which part of data we have to show to a different user, or we have to show to which part of who is responding. Like if we talk about, like, if I am a user and I want to have a university data, like in our university, if I want to have a data, obviously I will not get to show the marks of my own, and I'm not until the result is out, and I wouldn't be able to edit them. Only teachers are allowed to edit the marks of a student. So it's like a API plays a important role here. It will authenticate the user. It will decide, our logic will decide which kind of data we have to show, and how we have to show it in which format, as JSON and XML are famous two formats about these in near future. So third part is attached databases. Database is something where you store your text data or name or images, not images, but yeah, images of file system. So you would be using files also for backend only. Backend is generally, if I say, the whole process in a simpler way, or a user is requesting for something, middleware. Middleware just decides is which kind of data we have to show. Like in a middleware, it can be a framework or anything like framework only. If we talk about PC or MVT framework, it will like in which URL we have to show. Like if we're talking about Google Meets only, we all have a unique invitation link. So as soon as we click it, it just redirects us to the it sends a response to a backend. Backend checks whether this person is allowed in this meeting or not, and then it will show the responses. And a database is like it will store the data about the user or anything. So data would be stored in a memory. It can be stored in a hard disk or in a perfect RAM, or which can memory of the between the data and backend is not through is through different managers, like object relation managers and like this. The whole process of the backend is like we have to hide our code and some of our services from the users, have to give the best experience through the front end. Next.
Right, like before we just move on to the next slide, I wanted to like give a small, what is that, amalgamation of this particular slide. So just wanted to give a small overview. So what servers are is just a third machine which is present on the internet, where you can actually store data, and any user, so you have like 100 users, they can all access that same particular point and get the data. Like if you have a particular news application and you just like give the application to your 100 users, so all those 100 users can't actually like get you can't just push the news of the next 100 days, right? You have to like update the news daily. So you just update the news daily on just one machine, that's your server, and all your applications will get their news from that particular server. So that one machine which is on the internet, everyone will get their news from the same location. So you don't have to like update the application of everyone. So other parts is like you can actually store data on databases, and the particular address where your applications hit, that are known as APIs or endpoints. So that's it. Like we can move on to the next one. uh, you may continue.
Deployment. If we talk about deployment, it's for just CSS and JavaScript. We have best GitHub pages and Netlify. It's best for just for front end pages. But where if we talk about backend also, we have many platforms like Heroku, as I already talked about. Heroku, AWS, Amazon, Microsoft Azure, and DigitalOcean. So they have a minimal charge of like 5 to 100 or $10 per month for the basic plan. Heroku is also free for when we talk about a GitHub student plan. It comes with free. So basically, what is deployment? Uh, as I said, we made a project. We coded, we developed the whole process, and now we are ready to deploy it. Or now we are ready to in another server, or like all of them can see in a proper URL. So when I completed my project, a perfect platform according to a framework or language. If we are talking about React is also a very is a front-end framework, so it can't be deployed on a GitHub pages directly. Talk about a Django project or a Node.js project, it can't be deployed directly on GitHub pages. So we need different services of different companies to deploy everything. For packages like for media files, we need Amazon S3. If you are quite very aware of Amazon S3, it's quite famous. Amazon S3 is used by almost 60% of startups. So for packages like we publish libraries like npm, pip, and like these supporting packages we need beside our project. So these are side by side deployed with our main project so that we can access it. So best practice of deployment is like we deploy our front end on a different server, backend on a different server, packages also with respective packages like frontend. If we are deploying a front-end application, then we will deploy packages with it, and if we are deploying a backend, we will deploy backend packages with it. Yeah, if we talk about testing and security, it's a quite a issue for me, a vendor issue for me, because it's the most hectic part of a deployment. Like when I was working with DigiLocker, I remember they changed design of like 5 times. They had a designer, a front-end developer, who changed the just one page design 5 times. Like I have to integrate again and again, again and again, and they had just changing the. So whenever I was integrating, after every integration of a backend and front end, my code went to for the testing. It took around 1 2 to 3 days for testing. So they test my project, or my I can say my app, for almost each and every corner cases, or each and every cases which could be a user cases, which could be a trouble to a website or application or anything, just like that. If I'm talking about web application, because I'm more of in a web development. So testing is a part of project. If we don't have a proper testing, it could be a really trouble for us. If I'm now stage 6, if we talk about security, security is something we can't compromise with. Like if I talk about security, authentication, validation, privacy, these topics are quite all of you are aware of them. If just imagine if a server which is giving all your data for free, like many universities have a servers. Just imagine, it's your online exam today, and you have a question paper yesterday. So these kind of applications can be quite embarrassable for university also. So security is something like, if I talk about backend, if like we are talking about backend, so security is handled by backend. It's like backend will ensure that how much data a particular user need to get showed. Like if I'm talking about a student and teacher can see the question paper day before exam, but a student can't see. He will just get the question or question paper link or question paper just at the moment it about the starting time of the question. So like authentication is very important. If a user isn't logged in, how is user logged in, and these things are very quite popular. Some of you have heard about SQL injection, CR. There are many attacks which are related to security, and they can just breach into our system and get our data. Data is something like, if we talk about data, just suppose you are running a startup, successful startup, everyone is just shocked how you just grew in just 6 months. If just think of if your website or a server is not that much secure, and your rival company gets your data, all of your clients, all of your details, everything, your clients, and how raw material contact persons. So is it good for you or not? Obviously not. Obviously. So these kind of things we need to always go through before deployment. I remember when I completed my module, JSP Mapper. My mentor say इसमें Zipkin लगाना पड़ेगा, वरना Jenkins वाले deploy नहीं करने देंगे. So these are my mentor words. I'm just saying. It means like Jenkins is something of a deployment. So he said Zipkin is something very crucial for the project. So it's very crucial for the project. Generally, we don't use in our university projects or college projects. No, none of have used it in our past or in any projects, but it's very necessary, crucial for our can keep the record of the users, how they are going through, how they are how much their time is taking. Like if something is suspicious, it could inform us. Think security is something like it's very crucial for a project. That's all.
Like just to elaborate on this particular topic is when you specifically talk about web development, right? The thing about web development is not just web development, like any website that you visit is um, the code is publicly available to everyone to see. At least talking about the front end code, right? Because when you actually visit a website, the code comes to your phone, and then your phone or like your computer, it just renders whatever the code means onto your particular browser. Like that's the thing. So that code is publicly available, and you cannot put anything which is like unsecure or in that code. But you cannot put your particular passwords in that code, and people can also see like what network requests are being made by a particular application, so that they can access your particular API endpoints very easily. Okay, so you have to actually protect those particular endpoints. You have to see your front end code, and you have to just see like there is nothing that can be like particularly hacked. You have to see that every page is like directly what is that, authorized. So like anyone with not the authorization can visit a particular web page or can visit a particular directory. Okay, so using file transfer
Like
protocol HTTP, you have to just maintain that particular thing.
like suppose you have a girlfriend, and she just broke with you, and she blocked you from all the social medias. Work of a backend system to keep her secure now.
Right, sure.
Secure. her account secure from you, or you can say the other persons who she has blocked. Like if her Instagram account is private, the images shouldn't be visible to the non-followers or like non-following. I don't remember it. I haven't been using Instagram for long, so it's yeah. So if the images aren't so visible, then this it's a part of security. So
Like definitely.
if we talk about yes, if we talk about Facebook also, we have friends. Like if I am talking about myself, I am having around 600 to 700 friends on Facebook. So if I have blocked around 50 persons on Facebook, and suppose some bug happens and something happens, and all of my data is visible to all my
All the
to
people
whom
available
I
on the
have
net.
people available on the net. So it could be it would be embarrassing for a particular person, or for a girl or something, someone who needs privacy. So this kind of things are very crucial in a system. If I remember a person I was talking to, me like we were talking about something with comparing a security of two websites of a university. So in one website, all the details of teachers and students were leaked. They were just open. Anyone can just have access with their details. And in second website, the online portal wasn't secure with SSL security. And he was saying to me like, यार मेरे पेरेंट्स का पैसा है, मैं उनको ट्रांसफर कर रहा हूँ, मतलब कॉलेज में ट्रांसफर कर रहा हूँ, तो यार ये मेरे को ज्यादा दिक्कत है कि प्राइवेसी भाड़ में जाए, मुझे अपने पैसे लुट जाएंगे, उसकी दिक्कत है. तो इट्स नॉट लाइक समथिंग कि यार तुम किसी का डेटा मतलब अपने पैसा मतलब both are wrong. Obviously, both is a loophole for both the systems. But yeah, data is private. It's a priority than the money. Yeah, they can raise issues also. Right? Yeah, they can raise issues also if they find a issue, or like they are using your code. You made something much popular, and they are like I was recently looking for a e-commerce website for my personal use. Uh, so if I found something better, I can contribute to his project also. And if I find something some issue like which I can't correct it or I can't solve, then I can raise an issue also, and I can ask the developer or the working team members to resolve it. second. Someone is saying you are not audible.
Of course, I'm
Uh,
not audible. Of course. So, I wasn't audible for how much time? Can you just tell me?
or he said around 40 before 3 to 4 minutes only.
Right, from this particular page, right? This GitHub in open source.
Yeah, just repeat this page.
Sure, I'll repeat this page. I'm really sorry. I just muted myself in OBS, but I forgot to unmute myself. Nice. Okay, we'll just start again with GitHub and open source. So as I said, like Git is a version control software, and GitHub is a popular service which actually helps us use that open source stuff. Okay, so what actually GitHub or like Git does, it helps us maintain versions of whatever we have been whatever like versions of any changes that have been made in the code. Like we have a source code of any project. Like I made a new project and it's empty. Then I inserted some files in it, then some other person inserted some more files in it. So whenever a new change has been there in the source code, GitHub or like Git will just create a particular commit and it will just remember the different states that have been in there. And whenever there is a particular bug or you just see, okay, this is not working, you can always revert back to the one of the previous states, which was a stable one. So it just helps you maintain your source code better, and it's open for all and helps us to collaborate in a bigger environment. Like anyone in the world can just come up and like collaborate in your project. They can just add new files and request you to merge those files into your source code, or like they can raise issues as Sam just said, and they can just tell you, okay, these things are not working. And the best part about open source is since the code is open for anyone to use, they can take your code, make some changes, and create something new that can be totally better or serve some other purpose. Just examples like I was taking, like Android open source project like AOSP and like GitHub. Sorry, not GitHub, Chromium. These both are open source. Then like many companies, be it Samsung, be it
Yeah,
Microsoft, like Microsoft took Chromium and then made Edge better. Like Samsung took
Mozilla,
AOSP and made like one UI and made like a new type of Android. Like many companies just work on AOSP
Mozilla
and
also.
yeah, even Mozilla also. So
Uh,
that's what happens when you
even
collaborate.
even Google is also conducting GSOCs like these systems because he's also based entirely based on open source project things. Android is entirely based on Linux kinds of operating
Right.
systems. So like if we talk about GitHub, GitHub is something like each and every company needs, each and every team needs. Like if you are working in a team, if you are working alone also, you should use GitHub or Git services. Like if I talk about myself, in my last uh, internship, first of all, they just added me to the private repository of there, and they just did that mistake. I don't know how, but yeah, later on they realized that. So as I remember, in their private repository, only the permanent employees are allowed. So they were around 50 plus members to a single repository. Can you just imagine a uh, 50 plus people working on same code, and it could be a hectic, obviously. So we have to divide our project like in some of kinds of projects. Like front end is done by this person, this team, or this person. Backend is done by this person. DevOps is handled by this person, and like these designing part is done by this person. So if we divide our work like this, if I talk about myself also, as I made many projects, I will show my GitHub profile also. So recent previous year fest project which I made was Zumbao. Around 3 person on that: Arun, me, Ayush. Ayush is JSEC of Geeksman also. He's in Manan also. So Arun is in second year. He was in first year when we were doing our project. He was designing all the stuff. He just designed and post the same to the GitHub, and then Ayush took it from him in contribution, his commit, and then he used that to design the front end part of the project, of the quiz. To be specific, it was a quiz application, and beside them, I was working on a backend platform. I was designing endpoints for the APIs, and I was just handling security and these systems. We have many kind of security systems like token based, or user password based, and JWT token. Many things. There are many things. So like we were three-person contributing to a same project at us, like continuously contributing on a single period of time. So it's best for us to have a GitHub. Like we can like roll back. It's like roll back. We can roll back on a perfect version we want. Like if we just had an error and we don't know how to just what we did in last 3 to 4 days, or what another person did, so we can just roll back to our previous commit, or we can just roll back to a previous version, so that it would be working fine as last our version or a commit was working. Open source, I think I should say about open source, like many of things like if we talk about frameworks, almost all the frameworks are open source.
Right.
uh, Frameworks are like, I will show you how the I will show you Django, as I was working with Django, and I had read their own project also. It's like we are all over the world, people are contributing to a open source project. It's totally handled by people like us. Like if I am contributing to an open source project, I'm just making it useful for any other person. It's quite a very uh, quite very famous field of persons should work on. It's not quite famous in India, but in other countries, like they are working side by side in open source projects also with their job.
Right.
Like
Like
some spare
everyone always thinks that contributing to a bigger cause and helping the developing developer community is just matters a lot. So they do contribute to these projects, open source projects. Be it you can just go on like any open source project, be it React, be it Django, be it Flutter, or if you want to work on smaller projects, you can just search them, and then you can just go to the issues tab. Like Sam will just open his GitHub and share the screen, and then you can just go to the issues tab, and you can find like particular issues with the tag of like good first issue, and then you can work, okay, I'll try to add this feature to the application, and then you can just contribute. Like when you contribute, of course, it adds upon your profile that you have done something. It helps you read other people's code, so of course you get better at it. And
you
reading other
learn
people's
by
code is really important. Yes, I am.
Yeah, you learn by reading others code also. It's very helpful for us. Even now I've also read many of students, many of friends and open source projects daily. And I would like to say, GitHub profile is much more important than your BTech degree and or any certificate, any of your certificate. मतलब गेटअप प्रोफाइल तुम्हारी इतनी अच्छी हो जानी चाहिए कि कोई सर्टिफिकेट तुम्हारे फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता, किसी बंदे के पास तुम्हारे 100 सर्टिफिकेट हो और तुम्हारी गेटअप प्रोफाइल हो, तो ऑब्वियसली गेटअप प्रोफाइल देख के रिक्रूटर तुम्हें जरूर लेगा.
Exactly, क्योंकि at the end of the day कि तुम्हारा actually experience कितना है, because this counts as your particular experience. ये तुम्हारा एक तरीके से intern alternative है. अगर तुम कहो कि हाँ मैंने इन प्रोजेक्ट्स में काम कर रखा है, ये भी इंडस्ट्री प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं देखा जाए तो, जिस पे बाकी इंडस्ट्रीज रिलाई कर रही है, एक्चुअली यू आर वर्किंग ऑन टूल्स जिस पे सब रिलाई कर रहे हैं. सो it's just better if you work upon GitHub profile and contribute to open source.
Like now I am sharing my screen, 1 second.
Right, sure. So should I just stop my screen? Like, will it help?
Is my screen visible? Just let me know.
Okay, wait. It just says that you have joined. I'll just pin you up. Something is happening.
1 second, let me check. I
Oh
think
no,
my
you're
internet.
up. You're up. I am just like pinning you. Give me a second.
So here's my GitHub profile.
Oh,
If
just wait a second. Just wait a second. Still
Okay.
coming on my side. Wow, awesome. Okay, I guess your presentation should be visible to everyone now. Yeah, your screen is visible to everyone.
Anyone can comment and in the chat box and confirm that.
Yeah, it is visible. I'm just telling you.
Well, then it's good. So
Yeah, sorry for that, guys. Just give me a second and I'll try to get the stream back up. It's probably because of my internet connection. I'll try to get in as soon as possible.
some issue.
Yeah, I think we should be.
Hello,
Yeah,
Rhythm.
yeah. Sorry about that. Like something happened to my internet connection. I guess it just went off for a
Yeah.
second and everything disconnected. But I think we should be live right now. Like if anyone can confirm up there.
Yeah. It's we are live. So,
Your
but my
screen is
screen is not visible.
yeah. It's just written presentation, but your screen is not visible right now. Just give a second, maybe. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's visible right now. You can continue, I guess.
So, this is Zunbao. Every year, Manan makes a project on uh, Fest. So, here, the previous year, due to COVID-19, we had our online Fest. So we had this online, and we made a fantastic quiz, which just used by around 350 plus participants, and it went for 2 to 3 days on live, and it was front end was on React.js, the most famous front end library now of JavaScript, and backend was in Django, the one I am comfortable with. Rhythm in my third slide written. I'm a Django preacher.
That's true.
Yeah, I love Django very much because it's like properly Python based. If I'm comfortable with Python, then I should work obviously on the web frameworks and the
Yeah, Sayam, can you
and
just increase your font size or like zoom in your screen because like people can't see it properly.
1 second. Okay. It's
Yeah,
like it's
it
nothing
should be
like
good enough.
so because I'm comfortable with that's why I'm using Django very often, and I can like say every time. So here are some screenshots you can see, and you can comment. You can write in chat box how was it. Uh, just obviously just the screenshot. I couldn't show you the backend part, but yeah, backend part was also quite good, like the front end part, as it was made by me. So yeah, as I already said, we contributed like 3 persons in a shooting at that time. I was helping there. Ayush and Arun. Arun is in second year. It was around my second or third project at a university level, or my first or second, third project only. My first project was also a university level project. Career counseling website is also just made by me. Project, if I show you. It's 1 second. A second project is no need to show you. Yeah, I can show you the boring lectures one, but it doesn't have a front end because I don't like front end working on front end. That's why it was made by my batchmate front end. So basic front end. I didn't request it for a hi-fi front end. So yes, it's say like a boring lecture. I had never made any notes in my college life, so I just went through some of my code and used used the benefit of Django and Python and scrapped the notes for free. And it was notes from the lecture notes.in. Lecture notes.in is specifically for the notes for engineering field, and they have very accurate and very good quality of notes. So it just generates all the notes for free and combines it in a PDF form, and PDF is downloadable for free. So I just made a paid system free through this my project. So it is unique. Obviously, it is unique, and I just went through because one of my friend Ravi was having a backlog, and he was requesting me. He was just all day like notes notes they, and I didn't have any notes. So that's why I just made this project for just to help him,
Yeah, just
and
remember,
it's
like, this is
quite
not
being
perfectly
used.
legal, so I don't think like Sam can like share links in public right now here. But if you can PM him,
Notes actually it's
I don't.
not illegal. Yeah, notes are quite easily available, but I just converting them in PDF form only.
Yeah, the
And
legal gray area, I guess.
just these are my own projects. I'm showing you Django is a, if you heard about, it's a Python framework for web development. We can use it as full stack web development and backend framework also. If you can see just I can little bit have to read anything. It's like if I show you the contributors. Contributors are around 83 contributors all around the web, all around the globe. 2083 contributors contributing to a single framework or a project. And Django is something which is used by around 6 lakhs people in the as shown in this repository. So yeah, yeah, like someone fixed added a dark theme in admin module. Wow, that's coming. So in next version, yeah. So that's all about open source. I think so. Pretty good. And if you want, I can show you some another some another framework or like if I talk about many. Yeah, exactly. Thanks. React is made by Facebook. You can see contributors like 1500 contributors, 1528 to be specific, and it is also used by around 5 lakh people on the globe. Something very famous, one of the best front-end web framework currently, and it's quite future. I think so. Move on and stop sharing the screen.
Just give me a second. All right, it's working.
Whereas there are many languages and frameworks, even like Flutter, Kotlin, Java, and many there are many which are also open source. You can go through them also. Because I am into web development, that doesn't mean you should go into web development. My friends are also here who are into app development. They create very beautiful apps. Go there.
Right. So after like GitHub and open source, we'll talk about hackathons and resources. So just according to me personally, going to
The
a
best part
particular
in
offline
university.
hackathon, yeah, the best part about the best part about your universities is not just universities. You can
Or
actually go
being
to
in a club, or
hackathons
being in a
in,
club also,
yeah, being in a club also.
and being in a club also.
Right. What was I saying?
Friends,
I just forgot it.
you have your friends and you went for a hackathon. It's like a trip,
Yeah, it's like you're going for a
a
trip,
trip,
and that's it. Like
educational.
hackathons are not just meant for learning. It's a great way to have fun. But once you actually go to a hackathon, you just meet hundreds of developers. And like before I just state the benefits of it, I'll just explain what actually hackathons are, right? So hackathons are like these events where many developers just come along and according to the themes, like themes can be like healthcare, themes can be like social welfare. So there are multiple themes, and you can just see, okay, there are some real life issues about a particular theme, and you can try to find a solution on that particular problem, and then you just try to implement it in like 48 hours or something, like 24 hours or 48 hours, and that's the way, right? You just work and you see other developers work, so it's like a complete room, like a hall, sorry, it's a hall with developers are working. You can take breaks, there are like games to play, you can play football, you can play table tennis, and you can actually talk to other developers. You can just see, okay, what is going on, what is trending, what other things other people are doing, and that's where you actually learn. You make your circles bigger, and like hackathons is like a rave party for developers, if I have to actually put it in words. So
Like you get to meet different people from different universities and different cities also. Interact and or have a interact with a like
okay.
things I couldn't speak right now.
um for resources, like before we actually begin with resources, there is a question in the chat is, how can I actually get started in dev? So if you actually want to get started in dev, is just like you have to figure out what are the problems that exist around you, okay, and you just try to make a solution of it. Then you think like, does it require a front end, does it require a back end, and then you actually try to make a solution of it. That's simply how you start in dev. Like there is no particular handbook that you have to follow, there's no particular guide, nothing like this. It's just there's a lot of tools that are lying around in front of you on web. They are just waiting for you to use them. It's like
Like
that.
you can start with by deciding like which in which field you want to go.
Right.
Like if you want to go in web development, app development, machine learning, AI, something IoT also. These are many. There are many fields. You could have search, or you can just interact with any senior of them. You could have seen many of their seniors in different fields. Like someone is into web development, and there are many of the frameworks, languages. Each language is has their framework for a particular task. Like if we talk about backend only, uh, Java has Spring Boot, PHP has Laravel, and
Python
Python
has
has
Django.
Django and Flask. Uh,
Fast API.
JavaScript have Node.js,
Right. Express, Node.js.
Express, and Node.js. So, and similarly, like in Python, sorry, in frontend also, we have React, Vue, and
Angular.
Angular. Yes, obviously Angular. They are in frontend. Obviously, JavaScript is very crucial.
Like that's the
Many
thing.
of the frameworks are JavaScript.
Like JavaScript is the heart of like web development, at least in front end,
Yes, yes.
because that's a language that is
Yes,
actually run. HTML is not a language, CSS is not a language, but JavaScript is actually a programming language, and you actually can code in it.
Yeah,
That's
at
where
last we will
it
going
lies.
back through our we will discuss about some of the web frameworks and topics also. In if we talk about app development, we, as earlier I said, we have Flutter, Kotlin, Java, React Native, and many of these kind of.
And you can actually just, yeah, make progressive web apps. Like even
Uh,
that you make the web apps that you're making, you can actually bundle them as APKs, as PWAs. And actually many people are like looking towards that and just say that since JavaScript is so much versatile and can run on like almost any platform, it runs on every platform. So many people just look at that, like React Native, as you say, you mentioned. And or you can just work in React and use things like Ionic and make
yeah,
applications with that.
like Abhinav is asking, where should I learn first? So he wants to just want to
You have a lot of time, Abhinav, that I'll say, because
he's
if you,
saying that he want to try each and everything
you should,
first.
you should,
Yeah, you should, but something is like expertise. If I talk about expertise, you should at least have expertise in one thing.
right? Like if
If
I
you
talk about
have
myself,
expertise,
yeah, if I talk
yeah,
about myself, I can work as a front end developer, I can work as a backend developer, I can work as a mobile developer, I can work as like an IoT developer. I can do that. But if you have to ask my expertise, I will say I'm a backend developer, or and at the second position, I will say I'm a mobile developer.
yeah.
But if you have to
Similarly
ask
for
me,
me, I can be a backend developer, front end developer, not a mobile app developer. But yeah, machine learning developer, machine learning also. Say backend is something like I'm very fascinated about it, and I have done quite expertise for it also.
so there is
Like,
not a right answer about what you should learn first. It's
yeah,
about what goes about in making. Just have your idea, like what do you want to make, and then whatever is necessary for making it rightly, do that. Simple as that.
yeah.
It's not like you have to learn a particular thing.
It's like as Rhythm wrote in the third slide, I tried almost everything and declared Python as the winner. I should share that also. Like I have worked with PHP coordinator in my recent internship also, and I've learned Flutter and Node.js a little bit also, but I have never made any project in those because it was quite not for me. I wasn't comfortable with those frameworks or the languages also. But yeah, when I was forced to do front end part, I was doing front end also because lack of some, not in React. I'm wishing to learn React now, but yeah, but normally HTML, CSS, JavaScript, I'm quite comfortable with that also. So whenever I have used Django as a full stack development, I have worked as front end also. So yeah, I was talking about that. If you are not comfortable with each and every language, you can see I have tried C++. I can code in C++, but I'm not comfortable. If something I'm solving a question in a Python and a C++, it can take me 10 minutes in Python and 30 minutes in C++. So I can admit that I'm not quite comfortable with other languages.
Yeah, it's like right now you can you have the time, you can explore a lot
You
of things.
have
You can
first year is
explore
sitting
many
exploring, first
languages,
and second year.
yeah, many frameworks. You can explore many things, but at the end of the day, you will find something that you're passionate about. And even if you don't,
Yes.
sadly, there are people who don't get it. But you have to also see what your particular project demands. Like it's not like one key fits all locks. There are different tools. There exist different tools because none of the tool is actually perfect. And at the end of the day, you need different tools to do different tasks. So like
If I
if
talk
you
about many of our batchmates and like in first year we all explored different fields, explored JavaScript, front end, C++, Python, Java, many languages and something. But quite during a time like in fourth semester, I started with Django, and I just got something obsessed with Python. I was obsessed with Python, and Django was something comfortable. Then in a matter of 6 months, I made many projects in GitHub. It's all the contributions are from last 1 year only. Before I was having no contributions in 2019. And I talk about my third year or first second year, I was more into of competitive programming. That is also essential if we will talk about competitive programming versus development in next later on. We have an internet issue, I think. Hello, Rhythm.
Yeah,
Rhythm.
I'm audible.
Yeah. You have an internet issue, I think.
Yeah, I do have internet issues, but the thing is, our audio is going perfectly. But
Okay. Yeah,
but my
that's
like
nice.
video
That's
is,
nice.
but my video is reloading a bit. But I'm like
We
seeing my connection right now. The connection is fantastic, but
it's working now.
it
It's
is just
working
what it
now.
is. I don't know.
So we were in between of hackathons.
Yeah, when you actually talk about hackathons, so do try to participate in every one of them that you see online. You can actually just go to Major League Hacking. Okay, since we are in an online platform right now, just Google Major League Hacking, and they organize large scale hackathons, and you can actually form teams there and meet many people, enlarge your circle, and make projects that actually make a difference. Okay, so, and
Yeah,
yeah,
don't
just
have
participate in
offline
hackathons. That's a general
hackathons.
advice.
Due to COVID, we don't have offline hackathons, which we are missing very much. I think so.
I personally am a fan of offline hackathons, and it's kind of
It was
sad that
great.
they're not here.
It was great when our whole club goes for a hackathon, and we enjoy there
Yeah,
individually also. If you want, you can participate individually also. But in our club, we go with whole club only.
yeah. Also, when you actually go to like in your university in general, try to have a group of 4 or 5 that are always around you, who are as enthusiastic about the like coding as you are, so that whenever you want to participate in a hackathon or whenever you want to make a new project, you can actually pitch to them, and then you can actually work on that project and make that idea a reality. Okay.
For example, like me, I'm having my fellow Mananites like Ridham, Santanu, Naman, Nikhil,
Even Vedant, yes.
Nikhil, Vedant also. So Vedant and then non-Mennonites like Nitesh, sorry, Mennonite में Ayush bhi, Nitesh, Rohan, these are my friends. Like they, if I ask, go in them and ask for something, like if I say मुझे एक प्रोजेक्ट बनाना है, मुझे तुम्हारी फ्रंट एंड में ज़रूरत है या फिर ऐप डेवलपमेंट में तुम्हारी ज़रूरत है, बैकएंड में संभाल लूंगा, बैकएंड में कर लूंगा, सो दे नेवर रिफ्यूज मी. They was like okay, they always welcome me and my idea, and they always been a perfect project journey. And you will see, I have never made a project single. Each and every time I was having someone to contribute, just to while contributing we learn many things within our team.
You do.
So
Okay.
make friends that are like-minded,
Yeah,
not.
let's just talk about resources now.
Yeah, if we
What?
talk about resources, YouTube is best, I think so. uh, Other than YouTube, there are many platforms like I don't think so paid platform is any of use. Just it's like if you have you are like then you can use these platforms. But if you are in YMCA, I don't think we are like millionaire billionaires. Obviously, we would went to a private college at least. So paid course is also available if you properly explore the internet. And just taking a course of for the certificate, I think that's not the good point. You are just wasting money of your parents' money.
There will be several companies which come to college, take sessions, and just
Yeah,
say, okay, buy our course. Like we can actually name them,
yeah,
should we?
yeah. I can have like there are many companies like Prep Bytes, Coding Ninjas, Coding Blocks, and uh, something like they just show like we will mentor you, we will take they will take 12,000, 13,000 from you. And one of my batchmates said to me like that, I should not name him. He said me, यार जब पैसे देते हो ना, कोर्स करना है. हाँ, तो और उसने अभी तक नहीं करा कोर्स ये.
वही तो, अगर आप कोर्स
कहने
करोगे
देखो
भी
यार,
तो आपको कुछ मिलेगा नहीं, बात एट द एंड ऑफ द डे है।
भरना है ना, हमें दे देना. ठीक है, हम तो resources दे देंगे free के, ठीक है. So it's not like कि you are wasting your parents' money just to buy a course and you're not completing that course. And and many companies, like if I don't talk about them too, or don't name them too much, but yeah, they just sell you the courses, their classroom courses, their online courses, which are above 10,000, free on internet. You can just ask any senior for the course. Like, you can just ask me, Ridham, any of my batchmates, any senior, any fourth year
But
senior,
do
any
remember,
third year.
like try to like torrent it first, and if you don't find it at torrent, then come at us
Explore
because
the internet. You in first year you are here. Now you should have a habit of waking up till 2 to 3 p.m. exploring internet if
okay,
you are
let's
in a
let's
proper.
let's not promote unhealthy lifestyles like ours. Let's not do that.
Okay, so back to resources. Yeah, these companies do like that. First of all, they sell their courses to you. Then they will just give you some kind of small internship, or a small teaching internship, to be specific. Like, if you are applying for a developer role, why a recruiter would be impressed by seeing your teaching assistant role, or like your doubt mentor role? It's of no use, literally no use. If you have to work like a developer, you have an experience of a developer. There are many companies who just take money and say, we will provide you internship. Literally, recruiters know about these companies also. But like, they just yeah, you would be working at us. You would be working with us. You would be a software developer. One second. Karthik sir, do you have any meme regarding this? If you could share. Okay, yeah. So I was talking about like resources. They are Udemy courses. Udemy courses are freely available. Get the Udemy course from internet to a friend. Many WhatsApp groups will share 100% coupon code if you need certificates also. So I think if I talk about, let me share the screen rhythm. I
Yeah,
can show them some of these.
sure. I'll just stop share screen share.
I'm going through YouTube and will would be showing you some of the channels which are best you could use. They have everything, every stuff you would need.
Right, your screen is visible.
Okay. So here the first channel I should give a shout out. It's like Free Code Camp. 2 million subscribers. You can like have I can go about as you can see the views also.
Um,
It's many. It's huge amount, huge number. So if you see, like a Code Free Camp doesn't make their own videos, but it's like they crash course type, and upload. You can find many of YouTubers from this channel only. I found many of the Python YouTubers on like many YouTubers from this channel only. So like you can see on my full screen only, data in 8 hours, Python in 4 hours. So there are many different YouTubers collaborated on the platform. You can go through it, have JavaScript, every like Instagram to Chrome. Yeah, Instagram clone. If you talk about the same project in Udemy, it will be of 500 to 600 rupees, and you are getting just free for free over here. It's just like you heard of Udemy, you just want to try it. hours a day is paid 600 or to courses could go to thousands also. And like it's like pointers in C++, you okay. So as okay, after Freecode, I'm repeat once. Okay, code camp, I'm repeating everything. It's like I'm saying you want on internet or anything you want a course, it's available on this channel. It's a platform where each and every, not each and every, many of the YouTubers have collaborated, just put their videos from concatenated all their videos and made a crash course or made a made a single video, and it pretty much have all basic to advanced, everything is covered in this. Open this, search the specific topic you want to learn, through this channel once you're in first year. Some of the channels I would be suggesting you for Python, like it's like Core Shaffer. Core Shaffer is very good for the Python stuff. Like you can see, he has made many of the videos in go home playlist like pandas tutorial, Django tutorials, programming else books are oriented programming you will learn in third year. Pretty much everything regarding related to Python. Secondly, if I say about William Thiesek, you can rely for the algorithms part. So he's, I think, in my opinion, for me, he's the best for algorithm. You can go and
Sorry for the issues. I don't know why. Like, Firefox just crashed and it wasn't just letting me use.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
But
So we are live again. So as I was from YouTube. So William Fawcett is the channel I rely for algorithms. He is best for algorithms and data structures. You will just found it lovely. You just would be in love with this person if you just see one of his playlists. In first year, I think these would be too heavy for you to understand, but you can afterwards in second year or maybe in fourth or fifth semester you could come here and you could watch these videos. And for basic videos you can just refer to free code camp. They have excellent crash course. They even have 13 hours video for Python. So 13 hours video is quite no one can give you for free. Not a course. Paid course also can't give you free for free a 13 hours video course. So that's all for the resources.
like
You and
from my side, if you actually like want to get into any of these, there are many courses by Harvard, like CS 150 courses. So if you
yes,
just go into that and just search for particular courses you want from like the CS department, like the Harvard, they are usually open from creative licenses, and you can just access them for free. Their quality is awesome, and they just don't tell you the syntax of a language or just tell you how you can actually learn a particular thing, but they would rather tell you, okay, this is how you actually think about this particular thing from an engineering standpoint. From a developer standpoint, they just try to like think of with your mind and just tell you, okay, this is how the development part of something should be.
yeah, you can go through Coursera also. They also have amazing
Yeah,
courses.
Coursera is
Coursera,
amazing.
Coursera, you can apply for financial aid if you have any problems. And I think during lockdown they just made their courses for free for the students also.
Right.
So you can just
Like it's usually that you have to get a student ID for it, but you're not able to get the student ID usually.
as the rhythm says, language doesn't matters. If I talk about myself only, many of videos and many of courses for the data structures and algorithms were in C++, and it was making me quite confusing for
Right, awesome. I'll just pin myself again. Cool. Um, I think I'm perfectly audible, right? You can just write it in the screen whether I'm audible or not. Oh, okay. Yeah. Do we get a Google student ID? The thing is, the college, the ID that college provides us is kind of useless. Okay. That's the thing. Our proper student ID is like Ridham.Bhat @jcbosust at the .ac.in. But our university does not provide a particular student ID, and it sucks a lot because as a computer engineering developer, you can get a lot of free features just by providing that student ID. Like you can get Canva, you can get a student pack. I think you can get GitHub student pack even without the college ID, but just by providing your university identity card. So do get a GitHub student pack. It helps a lot in the development process, and you learn also. Mm, but no, we don't get a student ID from a college, and it sucks. About other things. So what we wanted to do in this particular session is just show you some beginner level projects. Okay, how do they actually work? So I did not prepare this for this particular section. Siam does have some like programs to
sorry for
show.
the interruption.
Yeah, not a
Uh,
problem. But
so
I'll try to
where were
answer.
you? Where
Yeah,
were we?
we are just talking about the particular resources, and someone just asked about like, do we get a student ID from our university? Or
Student ID is something like I think
yeah, we don't get it.
now we are getting it. Now we are getting from Gmail. Uh,
That doesn't work.
but
I don't think so.
yeah, it is working from last month.
Oh,
Uh,
it's
we
working. Awesome.
we asked for coordinators to ask them to switch on our access, but I don't think it will work in once the everything is fine and we are having our offline
Yeah,
classes.
like the lockdown once it gets over, um, the probability of it working perfectly is very less.
Yep. So now let's wrap up and we should go for the auditions.
Yeah.
Talk about
So
auditions.
the last section of our stream or our session was to like talk about the auditions and what the audition process would be like. So for our first round, it would be a normal quiz type test, which will be around like 18th or 19th. All the details, like the posters and everything, they will be released tonight, most probably. Like I'll just make them after this meeting ends. And once they're released, you can actually get all the info what the questions will be like. It will be something. Some questions will be like multiple choice question. Other will be like a bit of
Aptitude based,
yeah, aptitude based. We will ask like
more of your
explanations,
logic.
like you have also always like true false, if yes why. We are not gonna ask you true false, but we'll just ask you why
Right.
does your solution work the way it does.
Yes.
So what's your solution, explain your solution. A bit of essay kind, like we'll expect around like 30 to 40 words, which just contributes to like 3 to 4 lines. So in 3 to 4 lines just give us a solution, or we'll give you a program or a set of program. We'll give you some sample input output, and we'll give you another input, a question input, and we'll ask you, okay, what output will this come from, or like set to.
It will generate obviously if you're thinking of a solution, how will you just get the output from your solution. So about the second round is of project showcasing or CP showcasing. Project showcasing is like we don't expect anything big from you, anything large from you. We just expect from many projects, like some in if I'm here talking about Python. In Python, you can just develop a take into project, any take into project or any game, a one-day game, or you could have worked with OpenCV. Then you can have an analysis with some of it library like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib. So some basic projects which you could learn in a matter of and you can show us.
Right. um
So
that's the thing, right? So there are a lot of things to work upon. So if you guys have any background with Java or like anything, so I would just advise you guys to work with processing. Why? Because it has a beautiful front end. I'll just try to show you guys a project if it's still working, because I haven't used in quite a lot. Okay, right. I'll just share my screen if you
I
guys
think
can
so.
give me a second.
Rhythm, is it possible due to I think okay, you are having good connection. I'm having a bad connection.
No, no,
Okay,
I think
sure.
everything is working.
Actually, I switched from Wi-Fi
All
to
right.
mobile. You can continue. You can continue.
Sure, just give me a second and I'll continue. What happened? Of course, like Google is like messing with me and not allowing me to present for some reason. Okay,
Meanwhile, I
till
can we can talk about JavaScript.
yeah,
If you are in JavaScript, you can just make a game, a front-end game, or a basic web page with something with JavaScript or jQuery. And JavaScript, there are many things available with JavaScript. Much more games, tic-tac-toe. Many of things are available in JavaScript. If you search, you just have to learn it. If we are taking your project showcasing on, we can ask you questions. We would be definitely asking you question, and you should be pretty available and pretty answerable to us about your project. Not beyond that. Obviously, we understand you were not programming in 11th and 12th. If we talk about my project, when in a project showcasing round, I made a motion detector using OpenCV and Python. As I said, I'm obsessed with Python. So I
all
made
right, I
a
can also do
object detection using Python. Similarly, so I think I don't have the code. Then I don't have a code right now. And CP showcasing, I think we would be having something like
We'll be
a
asking some questions.
basic
You, yeah, we'll
competitive,
ask you some questions regarding
yes, competitive programming
components.
questions. And you can take your own time. You can just think of a better solution. We all would be there to ask you, help you in the sense of clearing your doubts, not giving you answers.
Right.
And last round is of personal interview round. Personal interview round, we would be asking everything. Everything, we could ask anything. It could be a non-technical question, also a technical question, also anything. Like if I
Um,
remember in my interview, I was it went like 45 to 1 hour,
right.
so it was
So I'll
taken.
just try to show you a simple project that I made. So in what is this? In processing. So what actually processing allows you to do? So I'll just show you a bit of a code what it is. So it is usually just based on object-oriented programming. Like you can make different classes. Like I just made a different class like points, shapes, operations, and edges, and then I just applied those particular classes. I got like key listeners. So if there's a particular key, do this. If there's a particular press event, do that. Add particular shapes, do this, do that. So after you do that, you actually have the project. So you can actually do some pretty fun things. So right now I'm just doing like rotating a particular tesseract around a particular axis. Does look cool. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, that's the different things that you can actually do with it. It might not like have a particular meaning to you all if you don't know what a tesseract actually is. It's like a regular object but in 4D. So it's like a cube inside a cube, but actually has like six cubes. But not the point of the conversation right now. But there are like different things. Like to if I have like any other recent program. What is this? Ah, right. So there's like particular thing called convex hulls. Okay, and I'm not sure whether this particular question is working or not. Actually, what happened is there was a particular question coming in like the long contest of CodeChef, which was related to convex hulls, and at that time, I was not pretty sure. Okay, what a convex hill, what a convex hull is, but just to tell you guys what convex hull is, it's the outermost like and shape which smallest outermost shape which engulfs all the points. So like this is the
Yeah,
shape
I
that,
remember that question.
yeah, that captures all the points. So just to have a good visualization, I actually just made this program while doing that long cost contest, so I could just visualize okay how it would go. So like after those points are removed, then this becomes the new, then this becomes the new one. So like this, I just made the program. So like like I said, when the need arises, you make a new program, and that's what it is like. So when I just like restart it, I'll like get a new one. So that's how it works. You just make programs when you need like it, and yeah, I guess that's it, right? So it just helped me visualize the everything better, and it worked. So I guess that's it from a small process. You can even like make simple applications like what is it? Flappy Birds. Like I made it in my like first year, at the end of first year, like just for the sake of it. I wanted to start with processing. So I made a Flappy Bird. It took me around like what 30-50 minutes. Simple game, right? Nothing much. You can just click around and like go through them, and you die when you touch it, and you restart. Simple game. You can like make a simple game using processing or what is this, JavaScript, and you can actually showcase a lot of your programming skills just by it.
Someone is asking any project idea with C++.
In C++, yeah, the same projects that I just show you using the graphics library, you can actually make them in C++ as well, because you do have it. Otherwise, the projects regarding C++, you might not know it, but C++ is actually used for almost every major game engine, or C Sharp was also used. But still, uh, C++ is used for many game engines, so you can actually make games with C++, but I would not recommend it. Other applications, so you can actually make many command line applications with C++ as well if you It's all about what the
Actually,
need is and what you actually have made and how you have made it. Yeah.
actually, C++ is base of many languages and many things, but the thing is that you need to code very more. It's like it will exhaust you while making a simpler project on C++. But while on the other hand, if you are making it with some any dynamic language, it would be much easier for you.
Right. Um, what else? So just to clear out the audition process, it will be like they will be open for all like written test for everyone to come and participate in, and so you will be scored on that, and also they will be open for all project showcasing and CP showcasing round. In project showcasing, whoever has a particular project which they have already made, they can come, they can tell us, okay, that's how they made the project, and we will just ask some questions to ensure, okay, it was you who made that project and you learned something, and what you learned uh, while making that project. That's all we're going to ask you in the project showcasing. In CP showcasing, it will be like we'll ask you one or two questions to just check your analytical skills, and like if you have already done CP, then you can be we'll just judge you. Okay, how much CP you have already done, and how do you perform in CP. So we'll just give like we'll amalgate the scores from all three rounds. So the first round is normal technical round. Sorry, yeah, normal technical test. The other is CP showcasing. The third is the project showcasing. So you can come to any of these rounds or all of these rounds. But the first round, the technical test round, is compulsory for anyone to actually qualify. So if you want to give the project showcasing, and you think that your project is a strong one, you have to give that like test round as well. So the test round is compulsory for all, and the project showcasing and the CP project CP showcasing are optional. You can just come there and you can just earn brownie points. It will just help us understand you guys better. Then we'll like list around like how many people we think are worthy of it from both first and second year for the final PI interviews. And for the second year, I just forgot to mention it, that the second years need not to give the test that the first years will give, the first test, the written test. For that, they will have a competitive programming contest. The second year will have a comp test, but the first years will give a test to the first one, and that contest will be
We are
compulsory.
conducting auditions for third year also.
Yeah, we are conducting auditions for the third years also, but the thing with the third years is that they don't have to give these rounds. They will just submit their like CV to us, or like any of the J6.
Resume
We will
also.
give out a form, so they will just submit their CV and their profiles like GitHub, Code Forces, Code Chef, whatever they want to give us, and then we'll just select the cream layer from them and just ask them to come to a
For personal
personal
interview.
interview. Yeah, directly. So for third year, just CV, then PI. Second year, CP contest. Then either if they want to, they can come to project showcasing or CP showcasing, and PIs. Yeah, Daksh, you just said. Nipun, I think I have cleared the second years. Answering Daksh, if you only know the basic of C language, can we get in Manan? I think that you can. I'll just tell you that you still have almost 10 days. Try to get a bit into C++ and object-oriented programming. Yeah, CP is competitive programming. I'm really sorry. CP is competitive programming, and just try to get
If
that
you are not able
acronym.
to
For, okay. Yes,
yes,
same continue.
it's not like you should be pro in in competitive programming or in any language. It's like moreover we need aptitude. We need a power to learn. We need power if a person can learn something and manage something also.
Yeah, true.
Uh,
Totally true.
and
Like it's already almost a month. Like you guys have been coming to college. I know that I'm including that particular induction period as well, but I want to, so I will.
almost almost
So
not a
yeah,
month.
Daksh,
I have
I'll
seen
come
many
to
of
your
the juniors.
Daksh, I will come
I
to
have
your
seen
question.
many juniors I have
Sorry.
seen many juniors who were working hard during this time, after 12th to the mid of counseling or in this stuff, and they have learned many language, 1 to 3 languages also. So if they are dedicated, and you should also be, it's not like you can't learn in 10 days. You could have a basic knowledge of anything
Yeah.
in 10 days. So, and secondly, I'm talking about 50% of our members are selected in second year. Even if I talk about myself,
And it's not
I'm
about
also I was
demotivating
I also
anyone, but still, it's
yes,
not
yes.
demotivating.
I also joined. I'm just motivating you all. I
Yeah.
also joined in second year. It was I didn't qualify in PI round in first year because something and in second year I got into Manan. So it's like it's not the end of the club. Other clubs are like they just take few people from second year, but we recruit many from second year also,
And that's the
because
thing, like in
obviously
Manan, what we see in Manan
everyone
is,
knows
yeah. Sorry, Sam, continue.
everyone knows 11th 12th is not everyone has done coding or programming in 11th 12th. So you should everyone should get a chance to learn. So at least 1 year is enough to learn and showcase yourself. So we also have auditions for in second year also,
And even in
and
third
third year
year.
also, even for third
Yeah.
year also.
What I was just
You
saying
have
is, yeah, what I was just saying is, in the last month, I think like you all know about the different clubs in the society, and even if you didn't, you knew about your streams or like whatever you want to do in the college. So why we are expecting people to actually like know a bit of, we are having this competitive showcasing, we are having this project showcasing, we are only having these rounds just to see with how much dedicated you guys are towards learning. Because if you want to learn, you just start learning, and if you have to start learning C, it's not a problem. I'll tell you, like when I was in first year, I did know some kind of programming beforehand, but there were guys that entered with me, which who were just beginners, and did not know much. So it's about, we'll just judge, okay, how much you want to learn, how much you have the capability to learn, what's your skill in regard to, okay, in regard to problem solving, what's your way of thinking. Those things matter a lot. Of course, if you already know programming beforehand, that is a plus point, and that increases your chances to getting into the club. But still, even if you don't know that, you can have other qualities which you can which can get you in the club. Okay, so it's not like if you don't know coding you just can't get in the club, but still, if you know coding, it's better. And
Secondly, if I talk about myself also, I was new to programming in first year, so I haven't done anything in first year. And when I was in third semester, I started in third semester, and one of my friend Nikhil, who is also in Manan, he motivated me in second year, and then I started. We went through many competitions and went to ICPC also, ICPC regionals in Gwalior. So that's the point. You need to have some good friends.
yeah, it's all about the company, and they motivate you to further. I have just learning. I just started learning. See, how should I start? Okay. First, I'll just like to confirm. Daksh, did you get your answer? If not, just ping again. Else, I'll just move to Lakshita's question. Okay, you have just started learning C, not a problem. If you are like accustomed to normal loops, how if else loop works, how while loops work, how for loops work, how arrays work, how normal data structures like arrays work. When you're accustomed to that, you can just start making project like anytime, because you can get input, output, and you can process it. That's how like I think any application works, right? You take input from the user, you apply some processing to it, and then you give an output. It's about how you apply your skills. You can learn about some data structures like, what's that, a queue, a stack, a linked list, something like that. So that's a bare minimum that's a bare minimum knowledge that you can gather in a short amount of time. So
Maybe a sorting algorithms would be fine.
yeah,
Sorting
just
algorithm,
go for
maybe.
sorting algorithms, like start with linears, then go with binary search or something. Sorry, that's
Start with
searching. Sorry, like go
yeah,
with
start
quick sort or something,
like you can start with bubble sort, then
selection sort.
selection sort, then quick sort, then merge sort. Like these, you can go step by step. Recursion also. So these are the basic topics you can go till second year also, until we don't expect you can go in 10 days, but yeah, you have pretty much time of 1 year also.
Yeah, and I'll just say like it's just about being passionate enough. I know it is difficult to start, and yeah, we are a bit more experienced, so we can say it lightly. But 10 days is a long time. Like you have almost 10 working hours, and even in those 10 working hours, you just contribute 2 working hours towards coding. I am 100% sure that you can get to the level that you understand recursion in the next 5 to 7 days. Like, I'm 100% sure if you are dedicated enough. But of
As I
course, and if you have any doubts regarding like any of the things while you're learning, you can approach Sayam, me, or like any of your seniors. I'm 100% sure that no one will say no to you. Like seniors in YMCA are like very friendly and very approachable as well. So go for it.
Yes, you can talk to anyone, anyone.
Anyone, you can
Like
also like talk to Karthik sir. He's pleased, but he'll still answer your messages most probably.
Karthik sir is really a great person.
Yeah,
He will answer you anytime. If he would be a 24 into 7 are busy, then he would answer you.
right. If he has seen your
He's
message, he will answer you. That's it.
he's such a best person in YMC ever met. One of the best person.
Right. Um, okay. Any more doubts like regarding auditions, regarding okay
Anything.
how should I get into development? Okay, well, just talking about like project showcasing, I'll tell you my project which I showed when I was in the first year, and it was a very basic project. I'm not sure whether I still have the code for it, but I'll tell you what it was. You know, like the simple like factorial. What's a factorial, right? So 5 factorial is 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. A tens factorial is 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 till 10, right? A simple program, I guess. But what you don't understand is how quickly the factorial grows. So if I ask you people to actually make a program of factorial, I'm 100%, I'm sure like you, many of you will just come here and just say, okay, we write a for loop and then store a result in a particular variable and just calculate the variable, just calculate the factorial. But then we don't understand, like even when we just move to factorial of 20, you just go out of range of any like data type that you can actually store the like this value in. Like your long int in C++, your long in Java, they have the maximum limit of like 8 MBs, right? Sorry, 8 bytes. They have the maximum limit of 8 bytes, and you can cross that very easily when you get to the factorial size of 20. So I just tried to have my own data structure which can actually hold the values of around 10 to the power 5 factorial. Okay, so that's how you actually do some things. Of course, Java already has like big integer, which actually does that for me. But I did not know that know about yeah, factorial is an exponential function at a very
Even
fast
Python
rate.
and Java can't calculate 10 raised to the 5 factorial. I think so.
Like Java can, like big integer can do that. Uh,
Okay,
but
okay.
that's it, right? I did not know about big integer that time, so
But
I
Python
wanted to yeah, I wanted to make something from my own, and it actually showcased. I knew about linked list. I knew how to apply data structure. I knew how to like maneuver code, and that's what we are like going for. You see a problem, you solve a problem, and you showcase it. That's what project showcasing. That's what CP showcasing is all about. It's not about you have to be a master of all the languages and you have to show a project that is industry level. It's not about that. We know that you are like budding engineers, and it will take you time to make actually big projects, but still we expect some things from you, and you have
That's
to
why we are here in Manan to just to mentor you.
right.
You can great projects here. So if we talk about you, it should be a unique project. No, it's not necessary. It should be a unique project. But if you try, you can make a unique project. As Rhythm said, as I made something like it was like it was motion detection plus recording system. So it was like when the motion is detected, it will record. Otherwise, it won't be recording anything. Like if we talk about CCTV cameras, they are running 24 into 7. So most of the hard disk
Like filled
is
with
full of the
empty storage.
yeah. So it's full of memory. So if we talk about at the night in college, so there if there is no movement, why should I record something particular?
Why to
So I
store
made
and
something
waste
like
memory, right?
why to waste the memory. So that's why I made something which records only when a motion is detected.
And you know, there's like more
In,
applications. I don't know coding, so I can enter the club. I say that you can. I will not say that you cannot, but that's the thing.
you
It's
should
all
have
about
application.
chances, right? if you want to learn more and more, and if you see that spark in you, most probably you can enter. But if you already know coding, that's a plus point. I will not deny that.
And secondly, club is not specific for any branch. You could be of any branch to be in Manan.
What I have to learn for it, you can like watch this particular session again just to get the hang of what development is, or you can watch the CP session. It's about just have basic knowledge about data structures and algorithm, like very basic knowledge. Even if you don't have good knowledge about algorithm, it's okay. um, Daksh, you joined late, so summarize the audition process. You can just do a part like, of course, this is a stream. It will be parsed and available in like 30 minutes, so you can rewind and watch the particular part. Okay. How many students does Manan take? There's not a particular
It's
limit.
not fixed.
Yeah, it's not
There is
fixed.
no. We will decide after seeing your talent. If we
Yeah,
see we can take whole of the year also. If we can take
yeah, I
just
can.
10 or
Yeah,
15
I
also.
can tell you. Like when I was in first year, we only took 11 people. It's just about like the people who were qualified enough. The seniors took them in, and last year they took around 15 or 16 people. So it's all about the number of people that they see eligible, and then they take them in. And if this time we see like there are people like 25 people who are like excellent and should be here, and they like they show off what Manan stands for, we'll take them in. And if there are only 5 students that do, we'll take only 5 students in. It's not a particular number.
Yeah, Manan is the only club where you can find only a few people, but the best people.
Right.
Best by best
Well,
by nature, best by coding, best by everything. Best by friendship also.
it does long last, so long lasting friendships.
Yeah,
Good.
I can say if I talk about friendship, even my senior, I haven't met any in my life. I talked to him. He's rather he been in Amazon, Google, Flipkart, like Heyman sir. I am in a week I've talked to Heyman sir. He's in Google, so I have never met him in person by person, nor he never knew my name till last year. So just because of Manan, I got to know him, and we just like we are too familiar and too frank now. We can interact anytime.
Right, like people are humble here, and you can just talk to anyone. I don't think like anyone will just say no, I won't help you in this. Everyone will say okay, I can help you this extent, because no one will say okay, I'll like guide you towards everything. I will just spoon feed you. No, yeah, of course we can't do that because of course everyone is busy. But still, everyone will try to help the most they can. That I'm sure of. Um, Daksh, if you have any issues about the audition process, of course we will like release proper like what is that post on WhatsApp and on Instagram, so you can watch that, or you can just like rewind the stream and watch that part. If you have any like
And one
doubts, even after
question
that, just DM us.
and one question that comes in mind of many of the first year students, if it's like if we are taking a part in one club, can we go in to a many clubs or like this? So it is a question that was asked to me from while I was taking auditions for another club. Yeah, it is possible if you dedicate time to each and every club. Uh, you can dedicate time to each and every club. You make efforts for each and every club. Then it's possible. Obviously, it's possible. I'm in around 3 to 4 clubs. Rhythm is also in 2 clubs, I think.
Yeah,
So it's
I'll
very,
talk about it later.
yeah.
Yeah, as Sam said, you can be a part of a number of clubs. It's about in the first year, you can actually just go into multiple clubs and see which club is right for you, as you don't know how a particular club functions, you don't know the insides of them. So, who in whichever club you are
I was
interested in, you can go it in right now. Like you can go in IEEE if you are interested in like automation and stuff. Yeah, go
it's
into
not
the clubs that you want to go in, and at the end of it, you'll just try to contribute to only those clubs which you are passionate about. Like I'm passionate about Manan, so I'm in here. I'm passionate about Ananya and Parallel, so I'm there. So the best, what I feel is at the end of second year, try to shorten your list to one technical club and one cultural club, so that you can balance out your college life easily.
Yeah,
But you
that's
can,
because you will get exhausted with too many clubs. It's
right?
not like you just have to go into many clubs. Just I'm saying that yes, you can, but you have to make choices accordingly. You have to choose between many of these clubs, as we have around 16 to 17 clubs in college. So it's all depends upon your interest. Not every club and not zero clubs.
Yeah,
Being in a club is also very important.
because in clubs, it's just not like you reap the benefits out of them. It's also that you have to contribute, and you do have a certain kind of responsibility. Yeah, that's it, I guess.
If
Um,
anyone has any more questions, you can ask, or we can wind up.
yeah, like any kind of questions, it doesn't really necessarily has to be on this particular session or
Or anything.
audition. Like
You can ask
anything,
anything from university courses,
yeah, anything.
anything.
Because we are here and we did mess up. Sorry, my internet did mess up a lot, so I think like we owe it to you at least. So yeah, anything. I'll say thank you for all the. So I don't think that any more questions are coming in. So I'll try to thank first of all Sayam for actually joining in with me in this session. It was actually great having him here and not do this alone. Secondly, I'll thank all the 21 people who organized branch-wise session like for computer engineering.
Yeah, I
Okay,
would like to say
yeah,
that
answer.
for the branch wise, it's there nothing like branch wise session. If we are interested in a particular topic, we are organizing sessions on a topic, not branch wise. I don't think anything is like branch wise. If what can I expect from us branch wise? If here are my seniors who are from EC branch or electrical branch, placed in a technical or IT company. So they are doing web development, app development. So I think it's the topic or it's the tech stack that fascinates you, not the
And
branch.
I can even say that like I have a friend like in our same year, and he's like a Swiss Army knife. So he knows a lot about almost everything, and I'm confident that he knows like his knowledge about mechanical. He's in computer engineering, and his knowledge about mechanical engineering exceeds almost 80% or 90% of the people in our college, or like even in India, I guess. Uh,
Okay.
at least engineering students, I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, you cannot have branch-wise sessions, as you just talk about a particular topic, and anyone who is interested about it can come in.
Secondly, as I am session head of Manan, you can request me any JSEC, any Manan member for a session if you want. If we think there is a need or there is a much response for that particular session, we would definitely have one. During offline, we have many sessions, but online, it's very complicated to have
It is
sessions on.
tough.
You can watch tutorials also, but you can contact me or any JSEC or any Manan member anytime.
Right. Thank you, Jatin. If you people found this particular session or particular parts of the session interesting, do tell us which parts you did like, or you just try to share it with as many people as you want. Other than that, thanks for all the 21 people who stayed with this. You stayed with us for the entirety of it and like got with us to the end. About Geeksman, Geeksman is a
I would like,
society,
I would
but
like
yeah, please,
one.
he's better suited.
Geeksman is a society, not a club. It's not under a DSW, but is a departmental society. So it's under computer engineering department. I am part of Geeksman too. Many of our friends like in Manan, they are in Manan also and Geeksman also.
Like the
So Geek
JSEC of Geeksmen are part of Manan. Like Ayush, Rishabh, and other good
Rishabh,
friends. They are good friends.
yeah, but it's not like something uh, opposing, but it's more of a friendship. So I'm also in Geeksman also, Manan also. So if I talk about Geeksman, Geeksman is actually started with a code shift
Campus app.
chapter, campus chapter, and then it grew with under the guidance of their seniors like Trilok sir, Sahil Senior sir, and they have started many courses. So it's good to be in Geeksman also, in Manan also. Both are equally awesome.
Yeah, it's like they are kind of different. They don't have the same vision So
purpose is different.
that's why the need of two clubs actually arose. But yeah, you can like go to Geekson as well, and if you want to apply for Manan, I'll be grateful.
Yeah,
Like
like
more than
there
welcome.
is Microverse, Suburban, IEEE for electronics. Their vision is different. So there was a need of two different clubs in not a club,
Yeah,
two different societies or clubs in a computer engineering department with different visions. So that's why both are awesome in their different ways.
right. Um, So I will like to repeat my line for the third time now. So thank you for all the 21 people who stayed with us for the entirety of it. And I guess we'll just like end this session here because I'm exhausted for the last 2 hours and I would like to drink some water now. Thank you
Okay.
everyone.
Thanks.
Bye. And
Thanks.
thank you again for joining with us. And I'll just end the
Okay.
stream. Kudos.
Okay. Bye.